We're live.
Hey, good afternoon. This is Shareen Clark with the 4 East Podcast, and our co-host is
Brian Cox, and how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing great, and you?
I'm doing well. How are y'all doing out there?
Yes, how is everybody doing out there on this beautiful Monday afternoon?
I'm doing well. Lady Shareen, won't you come in a little closer on the screen? Marquise, look at that camera real quick. Right there, that camera. Just adjust a little bit. Just adjust a little bit. Yeah, there you go. I don't know how y'all feel out there, but I feel good.
Yes, yes.
The weather wasn't too hot today, so I'm actually enjoying that. And I'm ready for our guests to come in. We have a guest that's coming in tonight.
Yes, we do have a guest coming in on Sunday.
All right, is your mic right now, Lady Shareen?
No, it is not BC. So we're trying to get it together. We're trying to make sure that it's good.
Well, here at the 4E Podcast, the things that we talk about are educational.
We talk about empowerment.
We talk about enlightenment.
And entertainment.
And tonight we have one of the candidates that's running for mayor that's going to be on. And he basically should be here shortly, Mr. Wyatt.
Yes, yes.
Check out that
We're
screenshot.
excited about that. Am I good now? Am I close? Am I coming off the screen?
Yeah, you're off the screen. You're going to come my way a little bit. Come my way a little bit. There you go. Little more. There you go. All right. So we have Marquise in the background. He's actually taking over this evening. I hope that one of our mentees is feeling a little bit better a little later.
Yeah.
So he's going through a few things.
Yes, he is. What
are you doing over there? Lady Shareen over there adjusting her mic.
Yes, I'm going to put this mic on because it keeps falling. So I think I'm good now.
Look at her. She's off the screen. At least on my screen. If she's right on your screen, then that's good. But she's off feeding on my editing software. Adjust it a little bit. Adjust the screen just a little bit. There you go. A little more.
Awesome.
A little more. A little more. The other way. Loosen it. Loosen the tripod at the bottom. Right there. Yeah, there you go. All right.
We got all our adjustments in and out the way.
A little bit more. You got a little bit too much on me. So come get a little more Lady Shareen into place. There you go. A little more. I don't care if you cut a little bit off right there. There you go. Yep. Lady Shareen, so what you been up to? What was the weekend like for you?
Oh, the weekend was good. Of course, you know, it's my type of weather. I love the warm, the 80s, the 90s. Bring it on. I love it. But no, I just, did some work. Of course, with the church on yesterday, we had an awesome service. It was the bomb. And then after that, we cooked out and, just
had a good old time.
Absolutely. Yeah. How about you? What you do? Did you work?
I actually worked. It was kind of a little hot this weekend.
Yeah, it was
really hot.
So you had to work out in the sun.
I had to work out in the sun. But in addition to that, I went to a service myself. I actually did some sound for one of your referrals, and it came out, and he was very happy with the outcome.
Awesome.
So
look at that.
everything is good. Okay. So we have some guests that are coming in. We are working on our website. And we're trying to do a few different things. One of the things is that if you like us, you need to put that out there in the public.
Yes.
And we also need you to subscribe.
Yes, subscribe on our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And also, we changed the name on the website so it make it easier for you guys.
Okay.
And hopefully it's up. I didn't even go back to check, but I think Brian told me it's up.
Yeah, I got notification that it was up, and I sent it out to a couple of people. Okay. So we have some guests that are coming up and on next week for the first time ever. We are going to be remote.
Yes, we're going to be coming live from
Abuga. Yeah, right down 22 in North Plainfield.
Yeah, I'm excited about
We're going to have the two owners there, Annika and Cordell.
Yeah, it should be a nice, fun show.
Yeah, we're going to have a real great time. And we're going to be the first time ever that we're going to take this remote. I mean, we're going to be right in the restaurant. We're going to be right there where they have the comedy stage.
Absolutely,
we're going to be there. And we're going to just have a great old time. In addition to that, right following that, we have a doctor that's going to be coming on.
Yes, we have a doctor.
Yeah.
And I'm excited. We're going to talk about COVID, y'all. So,
Yeah.
about the vaccines. We're going to talk about COVID. So, you know, that's a hot topic.
Yeah. And he's going to come on, Dr. Gorham. He's going to be in our presence and bless our presence. So
Yes.
we're looking forward to that. As we wait for our guest to arrive, he should be here shortly. We just want to tell everybody out there to be safe. Still keep practicing your social distancing.
Yes.
And make sure that while you're going out there and having fun, that you have fun. Because the weather get ready to break. I'm ready to bring out the turntables and start DJing. And they shooting on the back porch.
All right, he said on the back porch.
Yeah, the wife done opened up the back porch, cleaned it up. We had some construction going on last year, and she decided that she was going to go out there and clean up that porch. She don't know I'm getting ready to take the turntables out there and start DJing and turn it up and turn it out.
Wow. Don't get us kicked out now.
No, I'm not going to talk about that, you know. But we're going to have a great old time.
Okay.
In addition to that, following the doctor, we also have another guest that we're going to come on. Some of your people.
Yes, my uncle, the Swindells. Yes, they are awesome. She has written, as a matter of fact, she's written 2 books. The second book hasn't come out. Yes, it hasn't come out yet. And so, you know, and he also has I believe it's a single that's coming out, you know, because he's been singing for a long time. Him and his brothers, called the Swindell Brothers.
Wow.
And so they're bringing back some of the music. So I'm excited, and you know, he's going to be coming out. I don't know if he's going to do a concert or not, but he has a single coming out, and they're working on that music, and it sounds really good.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
I'm looking
good.
forward to that. In addition to that, we're also going to be adding a few things to the studio. We're actually going to have a monitor in the studio, so the next time we have a musician out, we can be ready and able to just go live.
Yeah,
Have
absolutely.
that music captured. I know last time we had a musician, one of the challenges was that the audience couldn't hear. So
Right.
we're working on improving.
Yes.
Do what you got to do, Marquise. We're working on improving and making sure that everything works out for you guys.
Yes.
We're trying to bring you the most technologically advanced that we can. Definitely giving you the equipment and making sure that everything is good. So
Absolutely.
we got Marquise who just walked through the screen. Don't worry about Marquise, you're all good. Marquise is one of our mentees. He's actually going to duck this time. No, he's not going to duck this time. He's going to walk right through the screen. Don't worry about it, Marquise. So Marquise is one of our mentees that we're actually mentoring, and we're trying to bring him to the next level. So, like again, we have one of our other mentees that is actually out. But we're looking forward to his speedy recovery so that next week when we go mobile, you guys can be there.
Absolutely. And I know they're going to have a great time too.
All right, and next Monday, Lady Shareen, we're still debating whether or not we're going to be live or not. I know there's a lot going on. People going to be going out and cooking and making fun for family and friends to come over.
Absolutely.
And practicing social distancing and making sure that everything and everyone is safe. So, Lady Shareen, I put it in your court last night. I think it was Sunday night. I called you and said, Lady Shareen, we're going to go live on Monday. Even if we're going to give like a snippet for like 15 minutes, or you think we should just like ignore that and take the time off and just enjoy our family? What do you think, Lady
I
Shareen?
say take the time
Take
off
the time
to enjoy your family, because you work a lot, Brian.
Oh, man.
And I'm sure you can use the rest, and we'll throw up a short video for you guys to watch.
I think we're going to throw up one of the Cool episodes maybe.
Either we could do that, or we could do a couple of snippets of
Oh,
what
we do a
we've
snippet,
already.
yeah. So like a montage.
Yes, like a montage. We'll put that up, and we'll still have it rolling and going, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, I had the opportunity to talk to one of our former guests, Mr. Terry, Professor Terry Benjamin, and
Awesome.
he's doing well.
Okay.
He's dying. He's like, when can I come back on? He's ready. He's willing. So Terry, if you out there, we giving you shout out and bulaka, you know,
Come
making
on
sure-
back.
Come on back, get you in here. But I can tell you, our podcast, you know, at one point we struggled with having invited guests, and you and I just co-host and we did our thing. But we are having people that are calling us.
Yeah, absolutely.
And people are wanting to come on our podcast.
It was awesome. It's awesome.
So in order for us to continue to do the things that we do, you have to follow us. If you don't follow us, you definitely have to share us. And if you don't share us, then what else do you have to do?
Give us some comments.
Give us some
Go
comments.
on the website as well and follow us on the website.
So what is the new website?
The new website is 4, the number 4, and it's epodcast.com. So we want to make it so much easier for everybody.
Yeah.
So it's 4epodcast.com.
4.
Right?
Make sure you put the number 4.
Yeah, the
Don't spell out F-O-U-R.
Right, the
It's
number
not
4.
that. The number
E.
4.
As an Edward,
E.
podcast.com.
Yeah, come on, join us for our journey.
Yes.
Come along with the ride.
Yeah.
As we put down the convertible and we just cruise into summer because it's right upon us.
We cruising. I'm loving summer.
Yeah, I'm loving it too.
Yes.
I'm loving the fact that we can continue to bring powerful and entertaining content
Absolutely.
that actually stimulates and motivates individuals to do the positive things that are around.
Yes,
So if you want to call in, our phone connection is going to be up and running right now. We'll just bring the phone over to the mic if there's a comment, and that number is 908-417-3695. That's 908-417-3695. So if you want to call in, we are Facebook Live on BC, my Facebook Live, and I think Lady Shareen, you have some people on Facebook. Are they looking in?
We just have Donnie at the moment. He's watching us.
Okay.
At the moment, I just tuned in just to see if anyone's there. So come on, tune in and let us know how we're doing. Let us know if you like it, if you don't like it. Let us know either way. But yeah, so hi Donnie. Hope that you're
What's up,
better.
Donnie? Down. Yeah, it's
Give you a little
BC.
shout out.
Yeah.
My microphone is acting up. So.
You got to tighten that silver one. Just tighten it.
Tight.
Yo, so if you hear a little noise, she tight, she ain't put no grease on it, so don't worry about it. It's all good. But in addition, we just came out of about a week ago of some tragedies that happened in the city of Plainfield. So we are definitely asking you guys out there in the listening world to definitely motivate and stimulate and encourage whatever your young African American males to be positive and try to find a way to not resort to violence. We need to find a way to really be more passive out there today. This world is full of opportunities to hurt people. We need to show how we can bring about love to each other.
Absolutely.
So if you have something that you're mentoring, you have something that you're doing, you have a basketball league, you have a program where you can mentor and model behavior. Let us know about it. And that is not to discount our females. We want to make sure that our females are safe this year too. We want y'all to be encouraging and positive and uplifting, and do what you need to do in order to handle your business. Now the other side of all that's what's going on is there's a lot of graduations going on, Lady Shareen. What do you think about that?
Yes, I love it. The only thing though that I do feel for some of the schools, they're still doing virtual graduations instead of traditional, walking across the stage. Because my daughter, she's graduating from Union County on the 26th, but it's virtual. So
virtual. So what does that look like? What does that mean, virtual? I mean, are they YouTubing it, or not YouTubing? Are they Zooming it, or are they going to actually allow the students to be on campus and they can walk, but everybody else has to visit?
Not as far as I know. It's just they log in to wherever they want them to log in. It could be Zoom. I'm not sure. But yeah, to my knowledge, they are home and they do the virtual that way.
Wow.
Yeah, it happened to my son too.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, during COVID, 2020, they did a virtual, but then a couple of months later, I believe in August, they did a traditional one and it was only 2 people that can come. So, and my family, we rolled deep, so it was, it was disappointing.
About 50 of y'all, about 60 of y'all?
Counted, it might be.
It's not that much.
Now, when we have a party, it may be.
Yeah.
But again, we still wasn't able to do all the things that we used to doing, so it was really different.
Yeah,
really
well,
different.
the concerts are the same way. We roll pretty deep when we get together and have family gatherings. It's so what happens obviously when you get a little older. Happy belated birthday to my brother. I'm not going to tell you how old he is, but he is my older brother. He just had a birthday. So shout out to Martin. Hope everything's well with you. And also shout out to my brother-in-law, my son-in-law, Gary James out of New York. He loves the Lakers. I love the Celtics, but you know that, not in a personal way. The Celtics, I don't know if they're going to do anything this year because they're kind of, one of their guards got hurt. But,
and that's your team.
And that's my team. But LeBron and them are trying to bring it. Did they win the other night or did they lose?
They won.
They won their first game against Phoenix, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so. And we have a guest in the house. We want to introduce to our guest who's going to come in and join in. He's not going to join us on the floor right now, but he's in the background and he's just giving me a little information about, the Lakers.
Yeah, and a little bit of audio and a little bit of tech. He said, hey, I'm going to come in, I'm going to help out. So, my future brother-in-law, Joe Alvita, is in the house.
Is that the Joe that made the flyers?
Yeah.
That's the Joe
that made the flyer.
Yeah.
So actually, our flyer, we're working on that. We actually have it. We just haven't posted it, but we are on time at 5 o'clock, and we did come on tonight, and we want to make sure that you guys out there in the listening audience know that we're here for you. So, Joe, big up to you, brother.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you for coming out, and thank you for showing your love and your support. I know you got big things going out there.
And we're gonna have him actually on the show too, because he's a DJ as well.
Oh, he's a DJ. So when I said DJ, he was like, "Oh man, I know what you're talking about." But I told him I was gonna bring the turntables out.
That's
some DJs that still use turntables.
I'm not saying, let's get a battle going on.
No, I ain't getting a battle. Joe, I smoke and everything. I'm a little
But listen, we won't know until you do it.
Yeah.
We won't know until you do it.
If Joe wants to come on and he wants to turn it up, we can get around all those things that you can get around, because sometimes they shut you down when you're playing other people's music, especially when you
copyright.
Yeah, copyright.
There's copyright infringement.
Yeah.
But the reality is that Joe is here and he's present and he's accounted for and he's doing what he does and he does what he can do. And that means that he came out and he supported us in our podcast tonight. So if our guest is delayed and he doesn't show up, we're going to move forward and we're just going to keep going. So, Lady Shareen, what do you have planned for this summer?
I don't even know. I mean, I have a couple of dates and stuff that, people want me to do photography for, some video.
Okay.
I definitely want to try to travel. Shout out to my son and my daughter and my brother and his girlfriend. They're in
Marquise.
They're in Orlando right now. They chilling. They left us, okay?
They left you?
They left us. They was like, oh, we going out. We going to do what we going to do. And I'm like, what?
Number two.
So hopefully, we can get a vacation in there. They're working hard.
I've been fighting, not fighting. I've been discussing with Mark. I said, what are you going to do? Are you going to go on a woman's vacation? I'm going to go on a man's vacation, or are we doing a dual vacation? But we got to go on vacation. I gotta get out. I don't know about y'all, but I'm tired of sitting. I want to get out. I want to go somewhere. I want to see some different people. I want to get some different food. And I want to just be able to say that I went somewhere. And I took, what were you saying, that the R&R, that's what we're going to do on Monday? I need to do that on vacation. So to see what's going on. Because, this is crazy.
Yes, it is.
We just sitting in here, we just, it's been a long time. Even though I've been to the stores and the stores seem like they're starting to open up a lot more. I've been to the restaurant. I haven't gone actually. I actually went out to eat maybe about 2 weeks ago. And the restaurant was starting to look like it was having more people come in. But if you go to the stores, I was out at Jersey Gardens the other day, and that place was packed.
That place is always packed.
That place is always packed. No, during the pandemic it wasn't that packed.
Oh yeah, nothing was.
And if you like Nikes and you went to that Nike store, we're waiting for about 25, 30 minutes just to get in, But the movie theaters are getting ready to open back up. I understand that they're really...
Well, some was already. It's just that the people, some people still not want to go back to the movies, and now...
I just wonder if the movies are ever going to rebound. Everybody having Netflix and everybody's having digital cable. People taking their money that they got, that extra $300, they went and they did some investments and built a new kitchen like I did,
Yeah.
or built a sound room,
Or a theater room.
built a theater room.
So they can watch their
On
movies. HBO Max.
HBO Max, and they got the surround sound in their hands, so they just like chilling. So I mean, I don't know if the movies are gonna bounce back.
I don't know. It would be awesome though. I mean, because I am a movie buff, number one, and number two, I'm a filmmaker, so it would be awesome. But if not, that's fine. We still have outlets. And one of my films was showcased in a theater in Newark, so that was a nice highlight. It was awesome to see it on the big screen, so that was cool. Yeah.
And when was that?
This was what, I was about to say last year, nope, I would have been lying. 2019.
Okay.
2019, I think was what, I actually had two.
There were short
had a
stories.
screen, it was a short film actually, sorry. One was screened in Plainfield, and the other one was screened in Newark. I think September was one, and I don't remember the other one, but yes, we definitely had, it was really, really nice. Family was able to come out, some friends. Actually, no, it was a screen again, I think in Union or Cranford somewhere, but yeah, so we screened a couple of times on the big screen, so it was awesome.
Wow.
It was fun, yeah.
And did they have like a debut? I mean, did they have like an opening night? Did they have 5 nights, 3 nights, 2 nights?
Well, Newark was the bigger one, and so they had they had an opening gala night, which was in Newark, which was awesome. And then after that, they had festivities the whole, I believe it was a weekend, not a whole week. They had festivities. It was really, really nice. I met a lot of awesome people. I met, I'm trying to remember his name, Lorenz Tate's brothers. Lorenz Tate was there, but he left, but he was able to meet his two brothers, so it was really, really cool. Met some other people. It was fun.
Well, that's what's up, So, if a person wants to get into like the filmmaking, short stories, what kind of guidance would you give? Should they have a DJ in the background playing some music? I see, I gave my little plug right there.
Well, the DJ would have to come later on, or the DJ. You can create a DJ scene, but okay, so with scenes with music, dancing, and all that stuff, that literally gets laid in afterwards. You do not do that during the filming. What you do is you may play a snippet so that people can hear the beats, can hear what they're going to be dancing to.
But can we like just put him back there with his, what do you play on?
Well, I'm playing controls right now.
He's playing with his controls. What kind of control are you playing?
It's a Pioneer SRT.
A Pioneer
SRT 1000.
SRT. Yeah, so I'm talking about, so like when you like do your next film, and I know it's going to be something about, God, you got to have a DJ that can play maybe some Kirk Franklin or some, Hezekiah or
Well,
something.
see, we could do that after, after the day's work, or when we rap.
No.
But yeah, we.
But during the-
I mean, well, actually, no. He could be there, but
Like when you have one of those 50 people gatherings. We got a guest. Our guest is coming.
He can't play though.
I got it. Go to the single shop.
He can actually.
Turn his mic back on.
He can actually do it, but guess what? You do not film. I'm sorry. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you don't film the songs, you don't film, when somebody's playing,
Wow.
You don't film none of that. That gets laid under. You just give them a little snippet, so they can hear it, the rhythm, if they're dancing. But after that, that's it. You can't do it while you're filming.
All right, our guest has arrived. He's going to get ready to get mic'd up. He's going to spit right in. Go to a 3-shot, cameraman. Go to the 3-shot. Here you go. All right, and who do we have the pleasure? You can put the headset on. You got to turn the mic up now. Turn the mic up, 3. Turn it up. Yeah. How y'all doing out there?
Hey, how is everybody?
You can adjust your mic. Do what you got to do. You got a cord right here. This black thing right here. Bring the mic to you. Just adjust
There's
it to
also this little knob right here.
you.
Twist up.
You good? All right. Can you hear yourself?
Yes, I can.
All right, so who do we have the pleasure of having in the house on the 4E podcast?
Mayoral candidate Richard Wyatt.
Mayor
Yes.
Richard Wyatt. That's what we're talking about. We're going to talk this into action. So, Mr. Richard Wyatt, Mayor, to be. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
All right.
I'm
All
so
right.
good to have you once today. Thank you for
Pleasure
coming
being
down.
here.
We are actually on FaceTime. We're on 2 FaceTimes.
Facebook.
I'm sorry, I did all. That's on my Facebook as well as on Shareen's Facebook. We also on YouTube Live, and we also have a phone number that you can call in at 908-417-3695. And if you liked it, hopefully some of your people will call in tonight, and they will ask you some questions. So let's get right down to the nitty gritty.
Yes.
What made you decide to become a candidate for mayor?
Yeah. In Plainfield.
In Plainfield.
All right. Well, I'm a 4th generation Plainfield native. So born and raised in the city of Plainfield.
Awesome.
And what really made me decide to run for mayor was the people.
The people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Talk about the people. What do you mean by the people? Isn't there a constitutional thing that the people run by the people for the people? You know, all of us that can't talk about.
Indeed. Within the city of Plainfield, so many people feel unseen and unheard. And constantly in the community, coach, have a mentoring program, a nonprofit, the Plainfield Board of Education. So constantly engaging with people in the community. And, so I decided to run because they felt unseen and unheard. And I wanted them to let them know that I see them and I hear them. And it's time for a change. And that time is now.
And the time is now.
Awesome.
But long before you even became a candidate, as a mayor candidate, you also did things for the Board of Education.
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
And you also belong to a fraternity.
Okay.
All right, so can we talk a little bit about those 2 things? Because I think they're going to lead right up to who you are.
How long have you been on the Board of Education?
I've been on the board for 6 years.
Oh, wow,
6 years.
that's nice.
6 years?
Yes.
That's a long time.
Yeah, 2 terms and 2 years I served as president of the Plainfield Board of Education as well.
Okay.
And what did you find out about serving in that? Because the board is kind of like volunteer thing.
Yes.
You don't get paid for that.
Not at all.
That's like a community service.
That's right.
That's part of most organizations, fraternal organizations, believe that community service is a part of that. And it's a big part of their organization. So talk a little bit about that, if you would.
Okay, yeah, so I'm a member of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity, the American Chi chapter, right in the city of Plainfield.
Okay.
Awesome.
Went over the year 2011, and we're all about community service, and we believe in lifting as we climb. So
Okay.
that's something that was instilled in me as a young man, making sure that we constantly give back and bring others along to do so as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So with that being stated, you're trying to bring Plainfield along
That's right.
in this candidacy. What you're doing, and what are some of the things that you foresee could happen in the city of Plainfield once you're elected as mayor?
Okay, so once I'm elected as mayor, one of the things is Plainfield has so much talent.
Yes,
Wow.
a lot of talent.
Yeah, we have nowhere to cultivate that talent within the city. All right, so one of the things that we're pushing for, one of the things that we will bring to fruition is a community center, state-of-the-art community center.
We need that big time.
You know, I mean, I go to other towns and I see it all the time. I mean, I'm not going to name any towns because we don't have to do that. But if you go to the surrounding communities,
Absolutely.
they have community
Yes.
centers that are like state-of-the-art community centers.
Yes.
Racquetball club,
Yeah.
swimming pool, basketball court, exercise room for all those people that
And
want
arts.
to Pilates and all
Heavy
that.
in
And
arts.
heavy in arts.
You know, with the media, of course, filmmaking and photography. A lot of kids, even when I went back to school, and a lot of the kids were saying that they had it even in their high school. And so they came in knowing some phenomenal things. So, and not just high school, but also their community centers as well. So, yeah.
All right.
So you also are a product right here of Plainfield school system. So how was that coming up in the city of Plainfield and being raised in the city of Plainfield, going to school in the city of Plainfield?
It was great. So that made me, help and shape me to the man that I am today. I graduated Plainfield High School 2004. We had a great class. After that, I matriculated to Morgan State University.
Morgan State?
Yes, and like you said, when I got to college, it was a point where I felt I wasn't prepared as I should have been.
Yes, it's true.
I graduated at the top of my class, and just wasn't prepared.
Mhm.
So I felt that I had to come back to the city of Plainfield. I had opportunities in the DMV area, but I felt obligated to come back and make sure that I build that bridge for those that will come behind me.
Yes, I felt the same way too. You know, I didn't go straight right after high school. I actually went to a business school. But then after a while, I went, back to college and started back at Union County. And it was the same thing. And not just me, but a lot of professors were saying that, a lot of high schools had not prepared them for college. And it was a little challenging for not just me, but a lot of young people.
So, with that being stated, being on the board, being that you're a part of a fraternal organization, being that you're running for a candidate for the city of mayor, why should people give your vote, their vote to you? Come on, bring it on, brother. I mean, you got a lot of people out there that I seen all of the purple shirts out there, so I know that there's a mass swelling of people that are ready for change. So give it to them straight up. Talk right to the camera. Why should they choose you over all the other candidates on the field? I think there's 3 candidates.
Yes, it is. Yeah. So I'm the only candidate, one that's Plainfield native, 4th generation Plainfield native.
Awesome.
The only candidate that has 3 young children in the city of Plainfield, 2 within the school district. And people know it, so we have created a movement during along this journey, this campaign trail. And people are realizing that I'm one, I'm not a regular politician. 2, that I really care about the community. So my background and the things that I have done for free, not for money, but just trying to make a difference within the city that I was born and raised in. And so people start realizing, like, you know what? He's trying to bring Queen City back to its era of greatness. And that's one of the things that I feel as though we have to do. Another thing is people are just completely disengaged with politics. Right? So they're tired of politicians promising them things, and it's pretty much lying to them. So they feel as though, I don't have to vote. But what we have been doing is encouraging people to not only just vote, but roll up your sleeves and take a seat at these tables. So that's one of the things that we're doing, is restoring trust within the government, within the city of Plainfield. And that's why people, one, should vote for me, and why I think that we are going to be successful.
People will vote for you, and we want to do everything we can to push that. So, how do people get in contact with your campaign? Is there a website? Is there a flyer? Can they just knock on your door? I mean, how do people become part of this groundswell?
They can do all the above. So for those that live in Plainfield, know I have open door policy, but the safest way is to, the email address is info@richardwyattformayor.com.
Say that again, now slow it down now, because everybody don't have their pens and paper out. Get your pen and paper and write this down or record it onto your phone. Go ahead, talk about it.
All right.
Can I have one of those too? Can we get a 3-shot, cameraman? There you go. All right, so talk about it.
All right, the email address is info@richardwyattformayor.com. The website is richardwyattformayor.com. Facebook is Wyatt for Mayor. Instagram is Wyatt for Mayor. Twitter is Wyatt for Mayor. And Wyatt is WYATT. If you do not want to use those platforms, you'll see me in the community every day. We're out canvassing, I'm knocking on doors. So if you just ride around, I'm pretty sure that you will see me and my team.
Is there a headquarters actually?
This is a grassroots campaign, so we actually run the headquarters from my home.
Okay, but I noticed, somebody told me this, tell me if this is true, that somebody was able, you being with somebody, was able to get that nice sign on the corner of Watchung Avenue and 2nd Street.
Yes.
There's a story behind that, though, right? I don't know if you want to share it or not, but I heard there's some inside information that somebody was trying to buy that sign and they was offering some crazy number because they knew how it's significant. So you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yes,
You know I was going to put you on the spot a little bit. You know the Cox family. Matter of fact, 2 of my nephews are actually your brothers in the organization. So go ahead, talk about it.
Yes, so gotta be open and transparent. So thank you for that. But yes, we were able to secure the billboard in that great location there, and it was alleged that another candidate,
keep it real.
Another candidate was trying to get that location and offered double the price for it. But thankfully, the person who gave us the contract was a respectable businessman and said he couldn't do it. So they decided to ride around town with a big billboard.
Well, one of the things that I know from all the time that I've known you is that you are embedded in this community. Your family is embedded in this community. Matter of fact, I learned something I didn't know, that several of your family members actually work in government.
Yes.
Yeah, so you want to talk a little bit about that without going too much into detail? If I want people to know you, to know that you're transparent, and then that you're real, and that you are really, really, really part of the fiber. You know, like the Cox family.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
we have a big stake in
150 years.
Oh, stop, man. Come on, see you.
It's a great family, yeah, a well-known family.
But you also have a great tradition in the city of Plainfield. Like you said, you're 3 generations, 4 generations. Four generations. And actually, your kids are part of the 5th generation?
Yes.
Okay, so you're actually right. And none of your kids are old enough yet to have kids, so soon it will be the 6th generation. And during that time, you know,
Correct.
we want you to actually be able to go out there and impact. So you have some things on the back of your car. You touched on a few of them. So let's just go over them one by one. A community center for the people of Plainfield. Lady Shareen, I'm going to take one, then you take one, and you know, let him talk to that. And where would you want to see that community center be developed? Because that's very important. I know that when you look at some of the things that are going on now in the city of Plainfield, there's targeted neighborhoods where those things are happening. And I'm not saying that it doesn't happen throughout the diaspora of Plainfield, but a core of those things are happening right where they should be happening. So can you talk about where you would envision a community center? When I was growing up, I always thought, you know, give you a little perspective. When I was growing up, they had my brothers. I didn't experience this. My brothers and them could tell me that there was a skating where the armory was, and which was right in South Avenue, and people could actually, not South Avenue, 7th Street. People could actually go there and actually roller skate. I remember the days where they used to freeze over the little ponds at the schools, and you used to be able to go and rent ice skates.
That's way before my time.
You know, I remember when downtown Plainfield, there was big business downtown Plainfield, Macy's, hamburgers. I'm not going to say that any of those stores are going to come back, but I just remember those things. So let's talk about the community center, going right to the point, and where you think it should be targeted to help bring about and hopefully get rid of that bridge that sometimes exists between the west end and the east end.
Yes.
So you know, I told you I was going to talk about it. I'm not going to put you in the compromise secret, but we got to talk about these things, because these things, if you're from Plainfield, you live in Plainfield, or you relocated to Plainfield from one of those further states or places, you got to know that a community center is vital to the youth and keeping them out of trouble. So talk to that.
Yes, it is. So the ideal location would be in the center of the town, which is Park Avenue. However, we would have to wait until we're successful and get into office, because they're selling every nook and cranny off to developers now. For instance, where Millenburg is would have been the perfect location for it.
Yes.
It's in the center of the town. You have the field right across the street, the track, you got tennis court, so that would have been perfect.
And then you have Cedar Brook Park right around the corner, which also has tennis courts and other things.
Yes. So, but like you said, we can't put it too far east, and we can't put it too far west. And if you're from Plainfield, you know that. So it's going to take for us to do a little more work where people feel comfortable traveling anywhere within the city. But that day will come soon.
Okay. Want to say the next one, Lady Shareen?
Yes, so economic revitalization that benefits current residents.
Okay, so now what we have in the city, I'm pretty sure you see it, we have so many apartment buildings going on.
You have apartment buildings?
I know, we need some stores, I'm sorry.
Where are apartment buildings? Where are the apartment buildings? We have apartment buildings in the city? They're all over the place. I'm sorry. You don't even notice them anymore. You know, like it's like when you buy a Volkswagen. You never see any other Volkswagens. You get a Volkswagen, next thing you know, you ain't seen none of a Volkswagen. So I guess the apartments are so prevalent in Plainfield now. It's, you know, they're everywhere.
They're everywhere. But we need some stores, and you know, especially a grocery store, because we do not have one in Plainfield at all. And we have to go.
We have grocery stores in Plainfield?
No. We a grocery store.
I don't know if Shopee will come off the hill. They make a lot of money.
They do.
But in economic revitalization, what do you see? And is it going to be like a drop in the bucket, or is it going to be like a 3-year plan, a 4-year plan, a 5-year plan, et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah, so within the first term, we're going to do as much as we can. We're going to be intentional about getting this done. So if you just take a look during the pandemic, other towns were able to have nice outdoor dining.
Yes.
Downtowns were nicely lit up. You spoke about the history of Plainfield and how everybody would come to Plainfield
Yes.
to shop, spend money, making sure that dollars were circulating within our community. Now it's the complete opposite. Everybody's going outside of
Yes.
Plainfield.
Taking money
Yes.
out
Mhm.
of Plainfield.
So
Yes.
even with the development that they have going on, so their idea is we're going to oversaturate the city of Plainfield with apartments to increase the population. That's not the right way to do things, because we don't have anywhere for entertainment,
That's right.
anywhere, like you just said, that anchor
Yes.
grocery store.
Absolutely.
So I ask people when we can, if it's date night, where do you go dating at?
Wow, that's a good question.
Yeah,
You ain't going to Plainfield.
Right? If you want-
So what does that economic development look like to you? I mean, is it curbside dining? Is it entertainment? I'm sorry, but I gotta just take a little sidetrack. But if I go to Somerville on a Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night, and even Sunday night,
Yeah.
the town is booming.
Yes.
You know, the town is booming.
Yes.
They have a lot of stuff going on where they actually feed the community to stay in the community.
Right.
So how can you do that?
So just like we said, doing those things there, making sure that our downtown and supporting our small businesses, asking other businesses to come into Plainfield. We have so many entrepreneurs in Plainfield.
Yes, we do.
They just need a little support.
Yes.
So making sure that we do that, making sure we clean up our downtown and make it a place that people, all the residents want to go to, but also outsiders say, you know what, I want to go to Plainfield. Just like we go to Somerville, and then people, the incumbent says, people in Plainfield don't make enough money to sustain those businesses. However, I disagree with that. I see Amazon trucks riding around the city of Plainfield every day getting deliveries. Every time I go out to dining or another location, I see people in Plainfield. If I go to the grocery store.
I see. Isn't that part of your campaign? I see you. I see you. I see you. Yeah. So, I mean, it's not like you can tax those businesses for coming in and delivering packages. But what you're saying to people is that there's money flowing through Plainfield all the time.
Yes.
And I think one of the things that we have to do is that we have to learn to circulate our money within our city.
Right.
Exactly.
Because that is what brings the city back to where it needs to be. And so let's go to the next thing. A proactive community. Are you finished with that? Can we jump to the next one? A proactive community approach to anti-violence. Talk to me.
Okay.
What does that look like?
All right, so I'm pretty sure that you have heard the shootings that have been going on.
Yes.
Rest in peace to Michael Prince, who was just murdered on May 2nd. Our goes out to his family and friends.
Sad.
Yes. But this is not new in Plainfield, so people may try to sweep it under the rug and brag about the things that they have done to decrease the crime rate,
Absolutely.
but that's not the case,
Right.
especially when we're in Fourth Ward and we hear stories from residents. Ms. Owens gave us a great story saying that, it's a scary story actually, a traumatic story that a father had to jump on top of his daughter because a car was driving by and started shooting and fired 30 shots within the city of Plainfield. So you hear stories like
But don't we have like Shot Spotter and all that stuff? So does that help?
it's reactive,
Oh, reactive. So you want to be
proactive.
oh, proactive. So just for the listening audience, the difference between the reactive and proactive is that you can put things in place that are going to get the police to respond after. So being proactive would be to have things like the community center so that individuals have alternatives to being on the street corner. And in that proactive community approach to anti-violence, what can we do for the youth, especially the high number of African American youth that are actually victimized by the amount of crime that's happening in the city of Plainfield? If you could attack that, because I think for a mother, be it Hispanic or Black, or a person of a minority that actually has violence hit their family, you gotta have something so that they could feel that they can help somebody else's family. When it's done, it's done. There's nothing you can do about it. But what could you foresee in the future that you could do as the mayor to help in that proactive community approach to anti-violence?
All right, so the answer is looking at the root causes of the crime and violence.
Okay.
And those things are unemployment, poverty, unemployment, underemployment, trauma, pain, mental health. So we have to be intentional about solving those things, because that's what leads to the crime and the violence within the city.
Okay.
So we need social workers within our city. We need therapy. So as a black man, as a man, period, I know that we don't like communicating.
Right.
We bottle things up. We don't like talking. And so what we realize, and everybody know, they say, oh, when it gets warm out, that's when the crime and violence starts to increase. You heard that before, right?
Did you ever hear that?
Yeah, so we bottle those things up, and it can be something so small that happens, and then we just react off impulse, right? So we have to make sure that we're talking to the youth, we're in the community, we have social workers, we have opportunities for them, we're providing jobs for them.
Well, you know I'm an entrepreneur, and you know I employ a lot of African American males.
Right.
I have employed African American females.
Yes.
I have employed Latino American males. I have done a lot, but we really need to have like a mentoring program to help move youth from adolescence to young adulthood to being responsible. I said, pass it. I knew we bringing you on here, we were going to have a positive impact. Is anybody out there in our listening audience that wants to shout out?
I don't know if they're still listening, but we had Joelle. Hi, Joelle. We had Tisha. Hi, Tisha. I don't know if they're still watching, but their name is on here. I don't know if there's anybody watching on your live, but we want to say thank you guys for joining in.
And you can call it.
And you can call in.
And we're going to have to bring the phone over here because we have some technical difficulties, but we're working through that. 908-417-3695. And we have a candidate, soon to be mayor,
Yes.
Mr. Wyatt, Richard Wyatt, on our podcast, and we thank him for taking time out, because I know as soon as he leaves here, he's going to be, you know, speedy rider behind the city of Plainfield doing some more campaigns, so we ain't going to hold him too late.
Right.
I'm glad that you could bless us with your presence. We got a few more points that we got to talk about. You want to take the next one, Lady Shareen?
Yeah, so it says improved city services. So and we definitely need definitely improvement in a lot of the city services that, you know, the community needs, and that is vital to the community.
That's right.
So what would you do, and what are the improved city services that just give us a couple of things that you might want to tackle in your first year, say, as mayor of the city of Plainfield?
So talking to the community, some of the major complaints are the snow removal
Yes.
within the city.
Yeah.
So making sure that we can do that more efficient and effective.
Yes.
Also PMUA, which is a big hot topic. We just actually had a town hall on this platform point here. It was a great town hall too.
Okay.
But improving the PMUA. So if you look at it, and the workers just had a strike 2 weeks ago.
No, the PUI?
Yes.
Okay.
They just had a strike. So they're protesting livable wages and fairness in 2021, where, you know, we still have people protesting for that. So the employees are unhappy. Homeowners are unhappy because they're paying a ridiculous price.
Too much. Yes.
So who's winning out of this triangle here?
I just keep paying. What else?
You have to put a lien on it.
Yeah. And if you don't cut your grass, they give you a ticket for not cutting your grass. But thank goodness I'm in the grass cutting business. So if y'all need any grass cutting out here, call me.
Call
BCLandscaping12@gmail.com. Hit me with that, and I'll come out and cut your grass so you don't get that $1,000 fine for not cutting your grass. They say in the record, your grass so high, you better cut it.
That's probably much commercial.
Yeah, right.
So,
Like as high as that right there he's talking about. When it gets that high.
I'm sure that PUMA strike must have really meant something, because I know even with myself, and we're not going to hold too much longer because I know you got to get out and do some more campaign while the sun is out. But one of the things that I know is paying people a livable wage is very, very hard when you're struggling with trying to bring people into your business.
That's true.
You know, because if you don't bring people into your business, then how can you pay higher wages?
Right.
I mean, it's mathematics.
Right.
So I know that when PUMA was first established and when they put the station down at the transfer station, one of the big things was to hire people within Plainfield. But if they're not making a livable, earnable wage and they still gotta live at home with mom and pop, that becomes very challenging. So, but you gotta be able to increase, here we go, this is a little plug for you. You gotta be able to increase your taxable, rateable income in the city of Plainfield. And if you have apartment complexes that are being built, go ahead, you finish it. I'm not gonna finish the plan, I'll let you finish it as the mayor to be. How do you fix that?
The apartments or regular?
Well, the apartment developers, I understand, are getting big tax rates.
Yes, they're getting 30-year tax breaks, pilots, and that money goes to the city and the county, not to the district as well. But if the developers are getting tax breaks, we're targeting renters to come in, and also the prices are very high.
So how does that, help me with the good wolf act. Help me with how does that swallow that teaching? Because I know you know civil ethics and what does how if I'm giving you this plant and I'm not charging you for it and I tell you that this plant is going to yield a cure for whatever and then I can't tax it, how do I get that plant to become part of the process of curing whatever it is? Meaning, if you have an apartment complex and you're not getting any money for it, how does that benefit the bottom line when those taxable, rateable properties now are not taxable?
Yeah, so you have to sign up for the course called mathematics because it doesn't make any sense to me.
What is the course called?
Mathematics. I didn't learn that in my studies.
Okay, right.
But it doesn't make any sense to me. How you can give the developers tax breaks, you're targeting renters, and you don't even have things where people can circulate dollars within the community, so it's a lose-lose situation.
And listen, I'm just going to play on it. Yeah. I'm going to play on it. Because when I was growing up, they called that Reaganomics. Meaning that if you give enough breaks at the top, eventually, it's called a trickle-down theory. Oh. Okay. So you have one other thing that you talked about. Shareen, you want to take it or you want me to take it?
Sure. Restore trust in Plainfield city government. I think that's a big one.
So we touched on that one a little earlier, but like I said, it's inviting people to the table. One, letting people know that you deserve to be there, that your voice matters, that your opinions matter, and that you're heard and being seen. So with me, we want to be open, honest, and transparent, and hold me accountable. When we get in the office, I want to make sure that you hold me accountable. So accountability is very key. So a lot of times, like I said, politicians, they get into office and it's like, you just said you was going to do A, B, C, and you didn't do anything. And then 4 years later, you're knocking on the door with empty promises again, and people are just completely disengaged. And especially, so a lot of people, what they're using against me is, Mr. Wyatt is young. So I'm 34, I have 3 children married, and that's the median age of the population within the city of Plainfield, 35 children. But what they do is, young people, they say out their mouth, we want young people to be active, be engaged within the community. But the first thing they try to do is discourage you. When that doesn't work, they try to discourage you, and then they try to destroy you. So you have to stay steadfast, and we have to make sure that we are encouraging everyone to get on board and take seats at these tables and pay attention. And that's how you affect change.
So, what opportunity, what date, where should they go, and how should they cast their votes?
Okay. So the time for change is now. If you're ready for change, and I understand that a lot of people are a little hesitant when it comes to change. We just look at our history, you can see even during civil rights and even prior to that, change was easy, it would happen more often, but it doesn't. All right, so June 8th, I'm asking you to vote column C, Richard Wyatt for mayor. Also on that line is Terry Briggs. She's running for the 4th Ward Councilwoman. Also Terrence Johnson running for commissioner, and Evander Henry, all from Plainfield, all ready to make a change. So if you're ready, vote line C.
Speak a little bit about that ticket, real quick. Terrence, I understand he's been doing a lot of great things in the city and community.
I went to school with him.
You did? Okay.
So I know him very well.
Okay. And Briggs?
Yes, yep.
And what was the 4th person?
Evander Henry. So she's from Plainfield as well. She went to FAMU, and she decided to come back. She was involved with politics at a young age, and now she's back.
Okay. Awesome. So is there anything that, I mean, this is quick, I want to get you in. Like I said, I want to get you out. Is there anything that we didn't touch that you need? And you have your campaign manager here.
Yes.
So, all right, she's in the background. You want to just give a little shout out?
Yes. Shout out to Sarah Berger.
Sarah.
Sarah. So I guess y'all haven't been like sleeping in the last few days. So it's like, what time is it? 4 o'clock in the morning. We gotta get to the train station. There's those 10 or 5, those 10 to 15 people commuting in New York today.
That's right.
That's funny that you say 10-15 because it's not a lot of people.
Yeah, that's what I said, 10 or 15. At one point, it used to be, you know, you go there.
Absolutely, yeah.
When my mother was running for me, we went there and we would campaign, catch those people before they go on the train.
Yeah.
You know, Plainfield is becoming more like a transient community. Matter of fact, from what I hear, a lot of the complexes, a lot of the apartments are exactly that. Plainfield people, non-Plainfield people coming into Plainfield, commuting into New York, and coming back at 8 o'clock at night. They ain't spending a dime in the city of Plainfield. You know,
that's the purpose of it, though.
That's not the purpose of it. The purpose for a community to grow and cherish
That's
the
supposed to be
people.
the purpose of it.
That's their purpose.
Right, absolutely.
With that being stated, is there anything that you want to add? I wanted to get you on for a short, brief time, but like I said, your time is very valuable to you at this time, and I don't want to steal away from any opportunities you have to get another person to get out there and vote for you. Because I know you got to knock on a few more doors. Sarah, is that correct? Was this a good interview? Was this sweet and short? We thank you for coming out. Again, I want you to give all your plugs right now before we go, because we getting ready to end in a few minutes. So I want you to give all your plugs, how they can get in contact with you, what they can do with your grassroots, and how they can email you, phone call you, drop you a message, whatever. Support you. The card is here. It's right here. All right, where am I at? Right there. The card is here. That's the title in the back. What he's running on his platform. And why don't you just on the way out, and our cameraman will be fading to black as soon as you say that it's over. Go ahead. You got Sarah's giving you a signal. Make sure you get that.
All right, so June 8th for the Democratic primary, we're asking everybody to make sure that you come out and vote. It's very important. The primaries are very important. So the person that wins in June 8th will go on to represent in November. In the city of Plainfield, usually we don't have any Republicans or independent candidates running, so whoever wins in June 8th usually goes on to be the mayor. So,
okay, so there's several places that you should know. Just real quickly, cover the polling places where historically voting takes place so people will know. If you're in the 4th ward, where do you go?
Fourth ward, so it depends where you live at, but the neighborhood house
Is one.
is one. Clinton's, all the schools are voting places.
All the schools.
Yes.
All right, and how many? 13 locations. So make sure on June the 8th you get out there and you vote line C, and you make sure that you cast your vote for the next mayor for the city of Plainfield. And he's just going to give us one more plug in reference to his contact information, because it's very vital that you have it. So give us your plug, and I also, unfortunately, you won't be able to see that, but if you get one of his cards, you can actually scan that right there, and it'll give you all the information you need to know. So get ahead. Take us out, sir.
Okay, for more information, go to richardwyattthemayor.com. The email address is info@richardwyattthemayor.com. Facebook is Wyatt for Mayor. Instagram is Wyatt for Mayor. Twitter is Wyatt for Mayor. And on June 8th, we will be having several shuttles riding around, depending on the board, so we will put that schedule up. All right, so if you don't have transportation, no need to worry. The Wyatt team will be providing transportation. All right, so we're going to make sure that we're providing every opportunity to make sure that people get out, use their voice, and make sure that they're ready. It's time for a change, and that time is now.
Awesome.
Thank you. Fade to black.
Thank you for coming. Thank you guys for watching.
Thank you guys for watching.